Good morning, everybody. Good to have you here again. My name is Bumi Alabi, and I'm super excited today. And I'm excited because it's a great episode of Just a Chat with Bumi Alabi. Yes, we are here again with another gist. And today it's not going to be me alone that will be doing this. Yes, like I said earlier, that I have some amazing super women here that are going to dissect this topic. You see, this topic is a very wide one, and I know that they are really loaded and they've gotten a lot of things to share with us this morning. So you're welcome to Just a Chat with Bumi Alabi, and I'm not here alone, like I said earlier. So let me kindly introduce my women of honor, women of virtue here. They're going to introduce them. So you tell us your name, you tell the viewers your name, what you do, and at least anything you would like us to know about you.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Birogba, and I think that's all you need to know about me, really.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yesude Owolewa Alao, and I'm the creative director for Alidamo Fashions. So yeah.
I'm super excited to have you here today. Thank you for honoring this invitation. And see, this is going to be loaded because yes, we are going to dish it out so raw. It's just a chat. Yes, just a chat with Bumi. We are not going to package it. We are going to share experiences with you, and I believe you are going to learn something from it. So let's just go straight to the topic. The topic of discussion today is something that is very important. Like I put something out there on my page some days ago that over the weekend I was just seated among the children in my church, and just looking at different child as each child with different personality, because I'm someone, I think loud, I think wide about things, about present, about the future. I just look at them, different child, and I try to just imagine them as an adult. I picture them as an adult, that this person, this child, if he or she grows up to be an adult, what kind of adult is he or she going to grow up to become? And as a counselor, relationship coach, I try to look at hearing some stories, some issues about marriages, about relationships that people are having, and I've come to realize that most of these attitudes, most of these behaviors stem up from childhood. Some of them stem up from their background, their growing up, and I try to figure out that, okay, was it that these children, they could not, and the parent could not cop some attitude in them that they grew up to, to exhibit maybe in their relationship, or what actually happened along the way. Raising a child is a privilege. Even to be a mother, to be a parent is a privilege given by God, of which we need to really value. But in this 21st century, has there been much difference between raising a child? I feel like all of us here now, we're perhaps we're born in our 70s or 80s, but compared to raising a child in this 21st century, has there been much difference at all? As in, what can you say about it? Children that are raised during our time by our parents and children that are being raised now, what has really been the difference? Who is going first? Oh, on my left here, I have another amazing super mama here. She's going to introduce herself. I'm not going to introduce her. So over to you here.
Okay, my name is Abosede Akinlejo. Well, I'm the CEO, Avalon Kitchen, Avalon Shoppers, and it's a great privilege to be here this morning. I'm super excited to be with my sister and welcome you all to the show. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we should start from you. You're going to start first. You're the last one. So, raising a child in 21st century and during her own days, as the way we were raised, what has been the difference? Can you just tell us what has really gone?
It's a very big question. Raising children now, it's not like we're raised. For every child you raise now, they want to ask you a question. Why do you want to do this? Then you cannot ask your parents why.
You dare not.
But you ask your child, Mommy, why? I want to do, you tell your child, can you do this? And you say, Mommy, why? Because another child is telling him outside that this is how we do it in our own houses. They have a relationship. The information in the internet is vast. They are informed. They are seeing other children enjoy gadgets. You tell your child that it's not good for you to hold a phone, and it's telling you, my classmate has a phone. So what's the difference? You have a high standard for your children, but the society is giving them another information. So balancing it, the church is giving them information, society is giving them, the home is giving them. So some of them are a bit confused that which one am I going to pick? To follow. So it's not easy raising children in this generation. The cartoon is giving them information, the news is giving them information. Raising children in this generation is a whole lot tasking. Very, very
It's like they find themselves between two worlds, the real world and the virtual world, which is the internet. So they're not trying to pick or, okay, which one should I follow? Is it what I see around me, what my parents teach me, you know, or what the society teaches me? You understand? So they're just trying to strike that balance to know which one because they should go for.
Okay, now you're telling your child, pick your Bible and read. And he's telling you, Mommy, I can actually pick, I can use your phone. So, you know, so they're telling you that, and as they're using your phone, they're going to other sites. There's so many things popping up on the phone. So, and they also want to check what is coming up on the phone. So, but if they're reading the Bible, they concentrate. But they feel that, Mommy, every time, I'm bored. The common language is, I'm bored. Now, so they don't want to see the Bible as a play. They want to go to the phone. As they're reading the Bible, they're watching their cartoon. They want to just do everything at the same time.
Okay, so let's hold it for the other. I know you are loaded with a lot of things. Let me go to my sister. So, 21st century children. So, how old are your kids? I know you have.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'll say I'm a 21st century mom.
Yeah, I think all of us, because we have 21st century.
I don't think it's our age now.
I think in as well as you have a child under 10. Yeah, 21st century. Yeah.
Okay, but I would just say that the way my mom raised me, you know, and the way I just feel like it was easier for her because I wouldn't have to question her for everything she says, you know. I just follow instructions because when she gives me that face and she gives me that
different reaction for different things.
Person, and my mom is a very loud person as well. So once she gives me that reaction, I already understand. But you see, children these days, I feel it's more challenging, and then you need more patience.
I think there was a time I was trying to give my son one reaction, and I think it was in the presence of, sorry for cutting me. No, I was trying to use my high contact. And I was like, Mommy, what happened to your eye? Publicly.
Okay, I hear that a lot, but I don't know it really happened.
Yeah, it happened. So that person knew that I was trying to pass a message across to him. Okay,
so it is really, really challenging. The fact that a child has to question everything that you have to say gives me headache as a person. You know, because I just feel like, but I'm not like this. Why do you have to question? And before you know it, I'm like, you know what, just go this way. Just leave, you know, I mean, but I feel it is so challenging because I didn't have to give my mom this much stress, but now you have to unlearn things so that you can adjust to what is happening right now. And I just feel like children now are more, you know, they are more emotional. You know, you have to drop everything that you have to do, everything you have in mind, and tackle with them with emotions. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The way they think is not the way I used to think while I was growing up. So I think it takes more work now. That's why I just had to start with I'm a 21st century mom. Because I mean, I didn't have to give my mom that much stress. So now you have to drop everything that you already know and
you just unlearn,
to be honest, unlearn and relearn.
And I think that's where intentional parenting comes in, you know, because something, you know, we try to do it the way we were taught, you know, the way our parents really raised us. We tried, okay, this is how my mom raised me. But no, it doesn't work that way. So you have to be intentional about it, be deliberate about some things you do, some things you learn about them, on how to handle the children. You know, because we see some things from our parents and we learn them naturally from our parents. But you don't go that route if you really want to raise a 21st century.
You know, sorry to question, so, and you know the fact that now, I was raised with spare the rod and spoil the child. But now it is like you have to find a balance. Do I at
Spoil
some
the
point,
child.
you know, I have to spank you, you know, that kind of thing. But now you have everybody saying, okay, you know what, you talk to the child more. These are things
I think
you didn't
that's
have
that's
to go
one of the
through.
things we are going to even talk about. How do you believe in, as in
Talking to children.
no talking or really using
Spelling the
rod, you know, you understand that topic is something is part of what we're going to talk about, as in how do you discipline a 21st century child. You understand, as a 21st century parent, you know, we're at least going through learning some from all this parenting coach and stuff. They say, you have to sit a child down, just talk to a child, don't face the wall, that's punishment, just face the wall. You know, does it really work for our children? Have you ever tried all those stuff, or you really used rod and it worked for them? Because, you know, as when we were growing up, I remember there was, my mom beat me, I think once. I think it was once that my mom beat me. And that time, I'm still coming to you. My brothers, they told me to steal fish, fried fish. I still remember that time. I think I was still underage. So just know that memory still came. So they told me to steal fried fish. After they told me to steal that fish, I stole the fish. We all shared it. But when my mom came, I said, who took the fish? They pointed at me that it was me. You know, she beat the hell out of me and I vomited the whole fish I ate. You know, so that was when I remember that my mom really spanked me. And I think ever since then, I never did that. The second time she spanked me was when I tried to, I was a teenager and a boy wrote a letter to me. And, you know, as a child, I was sleeping with my mom on the same bed. So and each time the boy sent the letter to me, I will hide it under the bed. So one day, my mama just declared the room. I
imagine the beating.
Kini, she just called my brother. She called them. Yeah, and I have some empty brothers there. I said, come and see your sister. And those ones, I think they are not having their own cheek they were carrying. I see. That's why you failed English, because you are thinking instead of to be reading Olu goes to school, you are thinking of Eze. So my mom just took me to the toilet and beat me. This is where I'm coming to. After that beating, could you believe that the guy came back to me and apologized, and I went back to him again? So obviously that beating didn't really work at that time. But later I sat back and I had a rethink that my mom beat me because of this guy. So definitely there's a reason why she didn't want me to take that step. So it's not about the beating that really worked for me, but I sat down and I had a rethink of myself. And so we're coming to spanking children. That's just by the way. Mama, let's go to you. 21st century Mama.
Wow.
And
Awesome topic, the awesome topic. Okay, but first of all, I think we need to understand who a child is.
okay.
Now, who is a child? A child is between, when you say infancy and puberty stage, because when they start growing older than that, their mind is already formed if you're not careful. So we need to understand that, okay, I'm talking about a child between the age of 1, in short, as a matter of fact, from childbirth
From
zero
zero,
down to 16.
Yeah.
Because at 15 now in this our generation, some children are already formed. Their mind is made up.
Yeah.
So we need to really create time. You know, during our mother's time, honestly, our parents had the time, especially our mothers, because most of them were not working class.
Yeah.
They were just fully housewives, and they had the time to actually tutor us, you know, while we grow up. And truly, some of their, you know, to say information at that time made us who we are, whether we want to accept it or not. Either through the flogging, the knocking, the eye contact, all those things we no longer have them. Now you said something that your mother flogged you and you still went back. Of a truth, I would do the same. But like I always tell people, when you flog your child or your children, you give them reasons to understand why they are being beaten. Now with that thing sinks into their head. I will not want to be beaten twice for the same thing that I've done if I know that this thing is wrong. Now, what do we do in this our generation now, this 21st century? We beat a child and we just let her go or let him go. Don't ever do it again. Go and don't come on. And the child doesn't know why he or she's been beaten. And now, even at this age, they start asking questions. Mommy, I don't even know why you beat me. Because I have a son, and if you beat him, you want to know the reason why he's been beaten. Others may not ask you, but he wants to know why he's been beaten. After he has finished crying and all that, he will come back to you and like, Mommy, why did you beat me? What did I do? And you like, I would just, out of, and just like she said, emotions, they are, I don't want to use the word blackmail because they are still too young, but they are, they are driven by their emotions. And if you're not careful, you fall prey to it, and you are just like, okay, if I end up beating this child again, he's going to come back. But the truth about it, there's nothing wrong in beating a child. But as long as you're beating that child for the right motive, don't beat a child out of anger. Beat a child out of love and correction. It will help that child grow. Now, when you are done, you sit that child down. Do you know the reason why mommy beat you? And the child will say, no. Now, draw the child's attention to the reason why he or she is being beaten. Now, if that child does it again, then you know you have an issue, you as the mom. Because our lives are like a mirror.
So if that child does it again, that definitely means that beating is not really
exactly
the right
that's where I'm coming from.
You understand?
That's where I'm going.
Because I don't believe that it's beating. Well, I believe I was raised up beating.
Exactly.
You understand? But I know her here. You don't really believe in beating. But sometimes I feel. Can you just tell? Sorry for cutting.
No, it's fine.
As I know you don't really beat. As much as I do, you don't really beat. You don't really beat before you beat. Yeah, before me, I would have beat. No. Before you beat a child, me, I would have beat that child like 10 times. But I know there's something that I think it has to do with personality. You have a personality that you have a way of being calm down with people. You are more tolerant than myself. But with your children, as in you've not been beating them, and I want to know that has that really worked for them?
Okay, let me say that it's not like, I would say that for every of us, all our parents nowadays, this generation, we are going through a lot of things in our mind. We are fighting battles. Let me say battles of the mind, and is balancing between should I beat my child or should I not beat my child. My temperament, my kind of person is I can tolerate a lot of things, but I realized that I cannot tolerate everything. So sometimes I beat.
Definitely.
I beat. Definitely. But I find it difficult to beat other children. But I spank you at some points where I feel that you get me so angry. I told you something, I keep doing it. Now let me talk about my own children. I beat them. Somehow you just feel like I don't beat them because I don't easily beat them outside. But when I'm at home, I beat. But one day, I think I just had an instruction from the Lord I should calm down. Then I feel that sometimes when I beat children, like she said, they are so emotional. If I beat them to the point that they are crying, like yesterday something happened now. My daughter was supposed to go and have a bath, and I did not beat her. And the sound I heard on the phone, I became very emotional, and I asked myself, please don't beat her like that. Why do you have to? So I feel that I beat, but not in all cases. Sometimes I can sit my child down and talk to the child. And now I feel that we are too busy.
That's it.
We are too busy. And that's why we're going through that battle of the mind. Sometimes I feel like waking up my children up and sitting them down and talking to them. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes I have to beat. But when I beat, I give you reasons why I beat you. Exactly. But like when my children came visiting a friend, we called what you told them. They said, Mommy, we did not misbehave because you have already told us. And yesterday night when they were going to sleep, I told them, if you repeat this thing, you're not going to anywhere again. The first thing my son told me this morning is, Mommy, you told me we're not going anywhere again. I said, yes, if you misbehave. So sometimes the beating may not work. But if you give them a reason why, if you do this, I won't do this for you. Exactly. If you misbehave, I won't take you out. Exactly. They'll say, okay, Mommy, because of what you said, I'm telling you, sometimes it may work for you. So for me, sometimes beating doesn't work. Sometimes corrective measures work. And some of our parents, we have our expectations of our children. Let's calm down a bit. Let's give them that room to grow. We also grow. We want our children to be prim and proper. My friend is coming. Please don't scatter the house, everything. But we also forget that we were not like that when we were small. Some of us has ourselves. Now, to pay for house help is not easy. So allow that child to wash 2 plates while you wash 4 plates, and watch that child and say, okay, I will allow you, I'll help you, but you also come in and help. So I feel that we also, let us grow together with our children.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think let me bring a point out of what she said. You know, she said most of us parents, we beat our children out of aggression. You know, we have busy schedule. We have things we are going through. We have unhealed issues that we're going through, we're battling with, and we transfer this aggression on our children. So not because of, sometimes not because of maybe what a child does, but because maybe we had issue with the father, or you have issue at work, and you're trying to
transfer of aggression
on them.
Running in your mind,
or your husband has told you, your dad just came in and said, see, everywhere scattered. And I said, well, it was you people that did it. It's children. Am I your children? And you know, so you transfer the aggression to the children.
You know, plate and stuff like that.
We all went through it. Some of us are married men that want the parlors to be very neat. And so when they come inside, the first thing, my husband was always like that. So I used to shake my face and say, Tolu, you know, some of us is the mother that we should, why is everywhere like this, you know? And you want to tell the child, why didn't you, you know what, your daddy comes, he's going to shout on me and all that. So you're transferring the aggression on your children. So let's work together, parents and children. Nowadays, as busy as you are, we can create time to work with your children.
Exactly. You know, that was why I actually said something. I said, when you beat a child the first time and he or she does the same thing, go back. Ask yourself, what is going on? What am I missing? Now, a lot of us parents right now, we don't have time. Just like she said, we are busy pursuing money, business, ourselves. We just want to, okay, like, I want to be better than this person. I want to be better than this person, forgetting that the child you have at home needs to grow morally, socially, intellectually, in all ramifications. But what are you doing as a mother to bring that child? Now, most things now we focus attention on mothers. I believe parenting should be both.
It's a teamwork.
It's a teamwork. Both father and mom, you create time for these children, whether you like it or not. Money, okay, by the time you have that money and the children are wayward, do you understand? So
I think we will still need to, because for our viewers, this topic is a very wide topic that is going to take a whole lot of time. I know we are working with time now, because that aspect of teamwork as a parent, it's very important, because we've been mentioning, okay, mothers have to do this. How about the fathers? What do they do? They want to make money. If you make the money and the child, the home is broken, then who are you going to spend the money with? So
sorry, I want to say something. Sorry for cutting you. There's something I started doing recently. When I noticed that we're trying to do something, our children are having challenges, and my husband is having a reaction to them, I'll say, you know what, can we sit down and talk about this thing? How do we help this child to work? How do we help this child to clean the house together? So I said, you know what, let's reduce our shouting. So I think parents, we also have to, husband, we need to talk to our wife, you need to talk to your husband. When we think you are not getting it, do it together. It can't be a mother thing, and it cannot be a father thing.
It's not about, it's not about maybe the mother is supporting the child, because that happens a lot. Sorry, you're about to say something before I say.
I think I lost it, but I'm just saying that one has to be very, very intentional. Because for me, I had a time, there was a time in my house whereby if you know, the school bus comes to the house to pick the children, so sometimes we don't pay for school bus, we only pay for one way, and in the morning my husband finds it difficult to drop the children. He was okay, let's go together. And I'm like, but we are doing this thing together. I woke up early to take care of them. You know, I've woken up early to take care of them for school, and I think it's good for you to take them to school. You know, we had to sit down to have that conversation.
That is where
and now, you know, he would drop them. I wake up in the morning, take care of them, and he would drop them without any.
We have to drop them without any issue. This kind of issue now is something that has really caused a lot of issue, as in between couples, trying to give roles that, okay, I'm the one taking care of the children, I'm the one bathing them, you are the one that, you know, there's some men that, you know, the only thing they do is, as they don't even help at all. The child will bathe the mother will bathe the child, cook the food, take the child to school. So if you now ask, what does the father do at home? Nothing. I think it's very important for our fathers to really be intentional about parenting. Parenting is not about a woman's work. It's not about the mother's job alone. Because these children, they are looking at you, especially the male child. They are looking at you as a father. You know, you are a model to them. They say, don't tell a child what to do all the time. Just show them what you want them to be. Show them the kind of adult you want them to grow up to be. You understand? So it's a teamwork. I think we are going to bring a father to the house, a man to the house to talk about this also. But before then, let's talk about this main issue that, you know, I know it's very well, we can't finish it up today, but we're going to just start it up. Healing the inner child in you. For a parent that is, you know, being aggressive to a child, you know, you are trying, you know, most of the time, it's not about what the child does or maybe with the child's reaction or behavior. It's about some unhealed trauma that we are really going through, because a lot of us have gone through some traumatic experiences, maybe from being raised by a dysfunctional home, maybe single parenting, divorce, or an abused relationship, or maybe the child is even abused as, you know, herself as a child, you know, and this has caused, or maybe loneliness, abandonment, a lot of things, and even the way we were raised by our parents, you know, most of us were raised with maybe flogging, spanking, shouting, and it has really affected a lot of us. Like me, I grew up with a very low self-esteem because, you know, being the last child of the family, sometimes I could feel abandoned. I could feel they tell me that I'm not enough. Like, there was a time I had to make this confession to one of my brothers. I used to spank me a lot, you know. Sometimes it was telling me of recent when he discovered what I'm doing now, and he was asking for my forgiveness, that I'm sorry for what I made you to pass through, that I was trying to force you to be who you are not. Because I have two of them that I followed, two of my brothers, so, you know, and he's the eldest, and he was trying to make me to be smart, to be up and doing, to be doing this and that. And I thought he could just slap me at times. He could slap me, or Denye, you are too slow, do shaking the you know what?
Sorry, and I'm sure it took you to a point where you felt, was I a mistake?
Of course, they even tell me. In fact, I remember they used to tell me that my parents, that mommy, that these are not my parents. That my parents are somewhere else. So I was thinking, so why am I here? You know, I'll be crying, and I'll be like, as a child, I'll feel so lonely that and then my immediate elder brother, you know, used to tell me that you are number 7, you are a mistake though. I should have been the last one, you know. Sometimes things be like that. So those things really, it has really stuck in my mind and made me have a kind of mindset that yes, it's like I'm a mistake. It's like I'm not good enough. It's like I'm not smart. It's like I'll shut the enemy Tony. Am I too slow? So those things were now I was growing up to see myself as not enough, you know. But over time, when I started learning about discovering myself, finding who I am, I began to see that, okay, I am just me. I can't be anybody. I can't be a male. And you know, that has affected a lot of people, that some people that try to model after a wrong mentor, as having a wrong people, and say, okay, I want to be like this person. Okay, it's like I'm not a male. They said I look like a girl. Like my son, one of my son, he used to tell me, so I had to go to his school. He said his friend used to laugh at him. They used to bully him that he's so emotional. He does his trousers and his knicker like a girl, like a skirt. So he now said, mommy, do I look like a girl for you? I said, you are not a girl, you are a boy. So you know, I started telling him to know that, okay, you are who you are. Let them accept you for who you are. But first of all, you need to accept yourself for who you are. Because that's where some people now see themselves, okay, it's like I'm a girl. And they try to do all this cross-dressing stuff. That's where it stems from. So healing an inner child as an adult, because as a parent, if you are not healed yourself, then you won't know that your child is hurt.
Exactly.
You know that you don't know that your child is going through a traumatic experience. Has any one of you really gone through a kind of traumatic experience and you've gotten healed? I know, I talked about mine is self-esteem, low self-esteem, but learning and unlearning something and seeing myself in a different ways helped me to heal up. So has any one of you gone through a kind of trauma that you healed up, or what's your experience about healing the inner child in you?
I think for me, I went through a lot of trauma. you know, it came in different stages.
Okay.
So, but you know, it's a thing that when you grow up, you have to pick them one after the other and work on them.
Yes.
You know, I came from let me call it a broken home, whereby my mom raised me. But I realized that when I grew up with so much self-esteem, but I didn't know where it came from. But I just knew that I had this inferiority complex, I had this self-esteem issue. So it was something that when I grew up, I had to take it up and say, no, you can't stay. You know, I had to, I started dealing with it one after the other. But I didn't know where it came from. Till today, I really can't say this is where this particular thing came from. So, but I have other issues that I haven't dealt with. You know, I have issues that I'm still trying to deal with. But that particular one, I still question myself. You know, I'm glad you said it. And that was what reminded me. I still question myself, like, where did I get this thing from? Because I knew before, there was a point my mom traveled outside the country. Before she went, she was very strict. But I was naughty too. Because I remember times that she would say, you want more, she won't see me. Because she could give me her last money to buy something, and I would get to the entrance of the house and throw that thing away. You know, it was really frustrating for her as a single mother. And she would beat and beat and beat and beat me. And I felt like, okay, she was actually, that's her own way of correcting
She was
me.
transferring the aggression of a broken relationship on you. That's where, you know, as a psychologist, you know,
she was the only person
if
doing
you are
everything.
That's why therapy is very important, because you know, most of us are going through a kind of repressed emotion, as in things that has really happened from the childhood. You know, so if you had gone for a therapist, they would have traced your behavior, your mother, even your behavior to your mother's behavior, and your mother's behavior, they would have traced each to a broken relationship. So things don't just happen on a child. See how it's affecting you now. That's why when couples are having issue, you know, it's not, you don't just think about what either of you is doing wrong. Think about what the effect on the child. You understand? And that will even take us to another topic we're going to discuss later on. So people say, I read a thread on Instagram whereby a woman said she's trying to, she suspected maybe her husband is abusing one of her daughter, and you know, the child just suddenly changed, but she did have as an evidence, you know, and she was trying, I'm trying to keep my home, I'm trying to keep my children. You know, you hear that a lot when women are going through an abusive relationship, and they say, I want to stay there because of my children. You understand? Because you don't want to, you don't want your children to grow up with a broken home. You don't want your children to grow up with a dysfunction. You know, but something is really, really happening. Things are not really going on with you. So, is that right for a woman to say, I want to stay in an abusive relationship because of keeping a child? You understand? But before we go, you know, this thing is very wide. That's why I say it's very broad. But healing a trauma, let me hear from, that's what we're going to, we have very 5 minutes to go. Yeah, we still, it's going to continue. You want to say something?
I was trying to conclude something there.
Okay.
That until my mom traveled outside the country, and you know, it's a different scenario there, and she came back. It was that point that we started having relationship. Okay. That we started, you know, I just realized that she has been able to calm down.
She came back. Did you know what actually happened over there?
No, you know, the way you treat a child here in Nigeria, you can't treat a child outside the country like that.
Yeah.
So another view.
Another environment, mindset, and the way things are done. Okay, so that actually changed. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, Mama, you have any experience you would like to share with us?
It's long, but I'll try
briefly,
and
just
make it short.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, while I was in school, I actually wanted to read medicine. And my dad, everybody used to call me, you know, the doctor. So I'm like, okay. But when I got to school, my dad did something that actually turned the whole thing around. That I just, as a matter of fact, I dropped it. I lost it at a point in time. And what was that? He brought in another woman, and you know, that was the beginning of the downfall, and that was the beginning of my hurt. And it took me time, even till death. I didn't forgive him.
Wow.
It was that painful, because when I looked at the pain, the hardship the woman had to go through with you, and at the end, what you gave to her in return, you know, it broke me. And it kind of delayed me in life. But, you know, when understanding the inner child, you first of all need to know recognize where that pain,
came
came from.
Is coming from. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mom. I think on that note, we're going to just pause it for now. And if you've not taken anything from this today, I want you to hold on from where she stopped. Where is the pain coming from?
Yeah.
As a parent, or even as an adult, and you see that you are going through some emotional pain, you are going through some traumatic experiences, and you're like, you don't even know, because you don't even know how this thing could affect people around you, the relationship around you, as the people around you. You don't know the effect on them, but you are trying to heal, and you don't know how you're going to heal. The first thing you need to do is try and trace back where this pain could be coming from.
That's it.
Where is this coming from? When did this start? When did I start noticing these changes in my behavior? When did I start feeling this sadness? Just try to trace it back. What really happened? And that's why we always encourage a therapy. Going to see a counselor, going for a therapy, it's very important, because you can't tell how this can affect you. It could affect your work, it could affect you at workplace, it could affect your marriage, it could affect your relationship with people around you. So number one thing to do is go and trace where that is coming from. What is the trauma? Identify the trauma and where is it coming from. Then after that, then we need to seek for, how can I heal from this? What can I do to heal from the trauma? That's where we're going to wrap it up today. Identify the trauma, identify the pain you are going through. Next week, we're going to talk about how you can heal. You can send your question, you can send your experience. We're going to talk about, we're going to share it here. But next week is going to be awesome, because I know a lot of people are going to really send their opinion, their comment, their traumatic experience, and how they have healed. If you have healed, tell us how you have healed. And if you have not healed, don't worry. Next week, we're going to talk about how you can heal from traumatic experience, how you can heal the inner child in you. Thank you very much, my co-host from my left ear, Mrs. Akimbulejo, Mrs. Alao, Sister Yetunde. Please, I would like you to let me know what you would like to be called. You don't want me to be too much official.
Yeah, I want to start
Yeti Talks. Yes, okay. And Mrs. Akim, Vicky baby. Yeah, Auntie Bosse. I know you're humble. Auntie B. Auntie B. All right. Thank you very much. Let's be the young lady. It's me, Bumi Alabi. Just call me as simple as Bumi Alabi. I like it so. Just say bye to everybody. We love you. Thank you. Bye.